custom pipes. I wanted to start off with that because the pipes sound so great. They're not loud and they're far from quiet, but I don't think they would really annoy anybody, and it really makes the motor feel alive. Man, oh man, my friend's bike, this is the second time I rode it. He did a lot of things to it since I rode it the first time. I'm glad I'm getting to ride it a second time before I do the review, because this bike has more things done to it than probably any Triumph in the US, kind of. First of all, the British custom pipes, of course. And then the biggest thing I really noticed is the suspension. It's got Ohlins shocks, which is kind of hard to see. And it's got the Ohlins drop-in kit that replaces all the internals and the forks. What a different bike. When I rode it the first time, I was kind of surprised because I'm a big Triumph fan. And I thought the front end was harsh, back end was kind of wallowy. And I go, wow, how did this happen? And that cured everything. It just handles beautifully. It swallows the bumps and the sharp edges. We went over some roads I just went over yesterday on my bike. And I purposely tried to do the same road so I could really see the difference. And I've been on this bike on that same road, and it's a different bike. But he's done a bunch of just wonderful things to it. I don't think I would do as many. Well, he's got the center stand. These bags are wonderful. These are Triumph bags, and they're light, and they look really attractive on the bike, and you know, reasonable amount of room. Rear rack, LED turn signals. I'm going to have to try to remember everything on here. Oh, that badge there, crash bars. Oh, I love these mirrors, Triumph mirrors. When I first saw them, I thought they were Zoma, but they're beautiful and they work great. Up here on the little Triumph makes such great, if you're really into stuff like this, great little stuff. And I really like this because like the cap on my bike is awful looking, and this just like looks just so great. And the round gauges, by the way, it's just round analog gauges, wonderful. And yet there's some information there if you need it. And surprisingly, this is a Dart, really made a difference, because I like naked bikes, but I have to say, when I rode it the first time without this, at 75 miles an hour, you're kind of getting blown back off the bike. And as I was riding now, I kind of took my hand and moved it around till I had this little, I could tell this little air pocket, like that shape, just enough to keep you from getting blown off the bike, but you still feel kind of like you're on a naked bike looking down at the ground in front of you. And so anyway, coming around here, oh, these little LEDs are pretty amazing. I should probably put them on. Yeah, very, very cool. Tucked in there. You don't even know they're there. It really cleans up the front of the bike. It still gives you a good turn signal. And the couple little odds and ends here. Let me see if I miss anything. Oh, the little badge here. The metal chain sprocket with a gold chain, and I'm sure I missed something. Oh, this thing here, yeah. I'll think of something that I missed here. I really need a list. But as far as riding the bike, so I'm a big Triumph fan, and I've had 4 of them. This bike is really, really a lot of fun. Very relaxed, just a tremendous amount of torque. In first gear, you can kind of just ride around city streets a little bit. It just has such a high gearing and all this torque. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Airhead BMW. Probably, you know, a little heavier than the Airhead and about the same horsepower. Torque-wise, maybe even more. The handling is actually surprisingly, for the weight of the bike and the nature of the bike, is just great. I have to say it's a little heavy. When I first got on it today, I went, wow. And you know, he added a little weight with the center stand, but it's kind of a heavy bike. But once you're moving, you forget about it. But when you're moving around a parking lot, you kind of have to be aware of the nature of the bike and the weight and where it's located. And getting it on that center stand is pretty difficult. So the Bonneville brakes are great. I really don't have a lot of complaints about the bike. I guess if I had a complaint about anything, it probably would be the weight. When you look at the bike and try to guess the weight, you think it's probably 30 or 40 pounds less than it is. Then, you know, adding a few things. But, I mean, it works. If I had to have a heavier bike, at least the center of gravity is low. It's very easy to get on and off. Even on the center stand like this, I can get in actually easier than I can on my bike. The riding position is great. For me, there's one little flaw, probably not for everybody. The riding position with my hands and arms is great, but I've got some leg injuries, and it just bends my legs a little more than I would like, and they do make a comfort seat that's a little taller. That might actually be a good alternative, because I'd be another inch higher, which would unlock my legs a little bit. So yeah, it's everything you need and nothing you don't, and it's also this one has been changed around so much. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention too, this is a special edition chrome. You know, when I first saw this in the showroom, I was a little startled by it, and I went, wow, I don't know. But like a lot of bikes, when you get it out in the sunlight, and they did such a beautiful job. I mean, this is not your average chrome finish. And I've never been a big fan of blue, but boy, does this Meridian blue go well with the chrome and just the whole nature of the bike. I love the rubber knee pads. I've actually put rubber knee pads on other bikes, including dirt bikes and dual sport bikes. I like to be able to jam my knee into it, not have to worry about scratching the paint. Levers are adjustable and light, surprisingly light clutch. Just a very easy bike to ride, very, very relaxed, and you can just kind of tool around and look at the scenery, or we just hit a little stretch of curves that I really like, and I didn't get crazy with it, but I definitely tacked it up and had some fun with it. It's fun in the curves too. I mean, I can't think of too much I would change other than the fact that the price plus all the accessories gets the price of this up pretty high. But if you've got the money and you want to triumph and you want to have eye candy, I'm sure every place you go, people will be looking at it and asking you what kind of a bike it is. Anyway, this is Ron, the Triumph Dude, signing off.